Hey guys, so this is my first video and I thought I would make it for because there are few Metaphor editor tutorials. So let's get started. So when you first open it up, you will have a black screen with this. What you want to do is you want to something like, sorry for the terrible quality. Oh, you know what it looks like. You've opened up the editor before, probably. So you want to hit escape, and you want to click new. Probably. That's probably what you want to do. Your first time, that's what you want to do. So this little menu pops up, and this, for the most part, you want to leave it be. Few times will you want to use that, change it. This you may want to change later on, but what these are is these are polygons that are used to determine the height of the land. Or else, when you save a map, it would have to save every single position's height. This way, it only saves some of them, and then it draws lines between them, and the points it uses create triangles. You can mess with this in the editor, so I wouldn't do it here in the setup. Textures. Can you change this? I never tried to change it before. I will actually make it bigger. Okay. No, I'll just leave it like that. Now what this is it's a bitmap file to be the ground. The game has a bunch of preset ones already in it, and of course you can upload well, not upload, but save one of your own in here. See, it has all these bold ones or folders. Like I can all this. And you, for the most part, always want to change this to wherever you want the ground to be. Unless you want to change it later, which you can always do. Terrain, you typically want that to be ground unless you're doing like a naval battle or something. Map size, you can change this. Because my computer is so terrible. That's not it. Oh no. Do I even have one in the keyboard? Have it? No. Wait, that should be it. Hopefully they'll recognize it. Oh yeah, my computer is terrible. Maybe I'm recording too high quality. Anyways, here you go. I just created a 5x5 plot of land. With that texture. That is how you create a map. Now, what you could do is you could load a pre-existing map. You could load a map that you downloaded, and maybe you want to edit it some more, but you can do wherever you want with that. So what I'm loading now is a simple, I think it's 20 by 20 map that I made. Something like that. So now what I'm going to do is teach you about the map editor. And so I'll go over the most frustrating things first. For one, you may want to like move units around, so if we get, say, Russian riflemen, I don't know why. Oh, so left clicking will select it and allow you to place it, whereas right clicking will deselect it and let you move your mouse about the map and not have to worry about left clicking and placing something, as it sometimes does and sometimes is annoying. And we can click on this rifleman and we can change a bunch of things. I'll be going over that in another video, but what we will go over is if you press F1 and using the numpad, if you one thing you need to know is that you change them to team. I just always end up using the team for Russians. I don't know why. So if you use the numpad while you're after you press F1 and you're in game, you can change between the different factions. 0 is the gray, 1 red, 2 green, and so forth. So when you're on the red, and this little box tells you which one you're on. Oh. There you go. I need to fix that. But, so now you can select him and make him move around and do your bidding. And he can go away. I don't know why my computer's having such big problems while I record. Anyways, that's how you do that. That's something frustrating as people don't know, and I used to not know that you could switch between things. F2 is the map editor, F3 is the mission editor. And the reason that there's a separate mission editor is because you may want to reuse some maps and not just copy an entire map. And another reason is that the map editor does not save the brain functions of units. Like, say, if you want to have a unit hold position at a wall because they're defending that wall, the mission editor, if you do that within the mission editor, it will save it. But if you do it within the map editor, it will not save. And that can be a problem. And so another thing that's frustrating is water. Say, oh, and by the way, this is heights. If you, over here, this is land, things you can do land. Like this texture, you can, like I said, you can import it. You can fill in the entire thing with another texture if you decide you don't like the one you loaded it with the first time. But heights allows you, by right-clicking, to lower land and left-clicking to raise land. Frame rate is really low. Okay. Now you may do this, and you may be wondering, well, how do I put water in? Well, here's water altitude. I can just change that, right? No. What you have to do is you have to go to landscape, click on water, and this one will be fine. Click like that, and then select it, and then you need to put the Z to 0. Now, the reason we need to put the Z to 0 is because if we do not put the Z to 0, then the water will be at whatever level it's at, and the water level or altitude right here will be different. But whoops. Let's see if we change this to -20. That's 2 negatives. -20, it will lower the water. It, however, does not. If you put the water at -40 and the water altitude is at 0, and then you change the water altitude to -20, it will make the water then go to -60. But the soldiers will swim at -20, so they'll be. It'll look weird. I'm not going to show you that because I don't like it, and because my computer is really bugging out now. Now, something else. Camera. I have clip. I have no idea what that does. This. I have no idea what this is. I am not an expert. I am possibly advanced. It's possible. It's not likely. Grass. Yeah. Anyways, terrains. What you want to do is, when you do water, you want to do texture fill, which it says using the textures, but the water is considered a texture, so then these little blue squares right over here are the water, so that soldiers can swim in it. And if those were, say, this, which is grass, then I think it's grass. Oh, and how this works out is it's this lines are one of these, so those are brown, so that means that it's browned, and then the interior is a bluish green. I guess that's grass. Yep, it's not changing when I click it, so it's grass. And this, of course, has the lines, which you can barely see, but you can see it better there. Has the blue lines, which is water, and it's water. And over here has light blue lines and light blue X's, which I don't understand. I think that is I think it just uses shallow water is what it uses. No, it uses something else. I don't know what it uses. But that's that. So what I will do is I will load the tutorial again. And what we will be going over next is changing units, changing attributes of units. That's all we're going to go over for today, is we're going to go over the units again. And next time, when I come back, we will have a better frame rate. Probably. Now, It says multiplayer and single player. Really, the only difference is, no. I've never seen them before. The only difference is that, multiplayer has, and single player is different types. Like, multiplayer, if we go to Germany, let's go to the Russians, since we already have Russians open. There are anti-personal miners, anti-tank miners, AT-rifle. There's not Zooper, but as you can see, they're different. They're a greater variety of people, and there are just different types of units in the multiplayer. And every so often I'll use a multiplayer unit, but for the most part I just use single player. So this warden that we spawned here, we select him. He can be player 0 since he doesn't really play. The mask player is it can be used for a variety of purposes, like saying that maybe, and this is something one of my YouTubers that I watched that plays this could have used but he didn't use. But what it does is it shows them as a different faction to everyone else, but they know that they're this faction. So if I put them as that, and I was to say, this guy is supposed to find an enemy and execute him. And now this brain is the fixed inventory. I don't know what fixed inventory does, but control the AI, and this is for single player when you're in the campaign is AI user, because you know that sometimes you want to have friendly units that are AI controlled. Fire mode, we want him to have that on hold. This is the fire mode, the move mode, move radius. Move radius, this is a more advanced feature, but it's if you lower that, they can only go so far per run. So it makes, if you expand it, the people can advance and retreat faster, and if you make it smaller, then they advance and retreat slower. AI move is whether the AI can move the unit. It's no, it's when the AI can move the unit, because if you just have this on a user, the AI doesn't get to move it at all. I don't believe it does. Anyways, but the unit will move itself every so often. And the AI movement, if you choose to disable it, you can have it enabled whether the unit sees an enemy or if it becomes injured. Like that would be something for a I don't know, like a tank. Once it gets hit by a bullet, then it's in the fight, or something like that. Go ahead and enable that. No advance, no retreat. This is something I like to use. Most people, whenever they have a defensive line, they tell the people not to move. What I like to do is I like to tell them no advance, which means they can't move up, but they can move backwards. Because usually my defensive lines that I make are in front of town, so then the people who are in the front of the town can move back into the town, and the force gradually grows as the more people go back and go to the last line of retreat, or of defense. Advance ratio, retreat ratio. This is I believe it has something to do with the how far the enemy is coming at you and how far you're going. I don't know, but all I know is that making this bigger will make them advance farther. Making this bigger will make them retreat farther. Name a human. That's a slot ID. This is 0 times 1. And this, apparently, this is 0 times 3. Because, why is it 3? Oh, because of his gun? I don't know. But this is slot ID, and for you coders out there, that's the part it is in the array, or the matrix, whichever you would like to call it. A constraint. In general, don't touch this. I use it sometimes, but don't touch it, is my advice. Position, yeah, here you can, instead of, how you move them is you hold the right mouse button when they're selected and you can move them around. Here you can manually move them to certain positions. Oh, oops. Let me scroll and change that. Yeah, I said don't move it, so don't move it. X form. Now, this affects the unit's position. This affects the unit's form. So if I wanted, and I'm gonna do it right now, just for fun, is I can make him a 1/10 of his size. And if I press enter, a 1/10 is too small. How about half? Oh no, I didn't mean it. Don't. Now this doesn't this affects the model. It does not affect their strength or their weight or anything like that. You can change that if you wanted, but this doesn't change that. I don't mess with these three anymore. I used to do crazy things, but so a stamp, a decal. This are aesthetic looks. Text mods. So actually, let's make them bigger so that we can see. There we go. So text mods. One. His jacket gets lighter, and then burned is I believe the game automatically changes it to that whenever they're burning. Opacity, don't mess with that. That's if you want to make squads. Yeah, and color white. I don't know what this changes. Let's see what happens. Oh, this is the overall color. That's what I was wondering. So if you want, you can make everyone a hint of pink or purple, and make everything Saints Row. Saturation, ignore saturation. This is see like visibility. It's oh, the z-axis is up and down, so this is for it's if you want, if you enable this, some of your soldiers might start running on top of each other, like another person's feet on this guy's head, which actually might I need to stop thinking about that. Oh, oops. Okay. This should be forgeable. I remember it being forgeable. Yeah. Storable, I believe that's inventory, and if you turn it off, then they can't have an inventory. I don't know. Mass, self-explanatory. Unless you don't know what mass is. Mass is weight, if you don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't know, but impregnability, if you want to make them invincible. Tags. Tags is for scripting. Simulation able. You want that check marked on almost everything. Or you want maybe some things, but vitality. Oh, this is the hit points. Sometimes I'll increase this if I want to say have like a special unit spot all who are facing more enemies than they should, and then I'll increase their health a little bit. This is you don't want to make the current bigger than the max. Usually, there's never you never want to do this except for a very few things, but this you can make the current bigger than the max, and then what happens is I don't think the game will glitch, but I've never done it, but what I'll do is I'll make it to where they can only heal to 100, but if you say you set the current to 500, then they get 500 in the beginning. Energy only goes to 100. You can't change that. Stuff. No. Now breed. This is something that you can basically change this unit to another unit, but you can make him behave like a civilian if you wanted, or you can make him a hero. I don't know what making him a hero does. I think it gives him a bunch of special stats. You can change his skin, so you could say have a bunch of Russian, what's the word? Resistance fighters, disguised as Germans. Icon, that's this, and what it shows when you select them in the bottom left. Icon priority. I believe that changes which, like when you select a group, which one shows on top. Tags against scripting nationality Russian. I don't know what happens if you change the nationality. I don't know why that's there. Armor, you can. Oh yes, I was wondering why this armor was here. So yeah, you can change this. There's only three. There's only three body armors. There's the body armor, the kamikaze, and the warden. And there's a bunch of hats. This is a hat, not a head, by the way. Perks. Health 5. Vision multiplayer officer. I don't know why that's changed. Rifle expert. And so yeah, these are their skills with different weapons. What has the unit has the highest skill is Russian Spetsnaz or German Elite SS. One of those has a bunch of special skills. You can change what's in their hand. Out of their inventory, you can't just add things in there. Well, you can, but you can add to their inventory from here. Actually, I did not know that, or remember. Oh, and over here you can just completely change their breed. No, just leave this. So, if you click on them and you have them selected, and this is only for one unit, you can do these. You can do call functions, which are for missions, and you should, well, I guess you can play around with them if you don't understand them. But bone colors, that I have no idea. Tags, again, that's for scripting. You can use the tags and call functions together and things like that. What are icons? I've never figured out what those are. But you can go to the inventory and you can add him. Is that Molotov top? Oh, it's in the picture. So I guess it is a Molotov cocktail. Warning for cat body armor. Why do you have 2 shotguns? Were you loaded with 2 shells? What do you... Can you shoot with that? Wait, so what, I remember when I did the, I made him show as player 1, and I'm going to hold this fire, yep. So what we're going to do is we're going to press F1, go in game, and be on red team, and then start. Go. He's on.
Да, командир. Слушаю, командир.
I did it the wrong way. That's fine. Okay, so change him to player 1. Go back to the game and I don't know why it's so saying there. But if I Control 1. Now once he shoots, this person will know who he is. That he actually works for the gray team, the player 0.
Сосредоточить огонь на пехоте!
Yep, so then there we go. That is how the stealth works out, or the masking, player masking. There are actually special ways in which you can get people unveiled, like if they move too close to another unit, but those are all beyond me at least. So that was this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully.